Yes. So the class will be recorded for the help of students for the further reference. Okay. So today I am going to explain socket programming. So this is VS Code. This is VS Code, Visual Studio Code, IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Okay. So open a new project here. Click on here, show and run commands. Create Java project. No build tools. Okay. And then go into your computer. It goes for your computer. There select a folder. This is in your computer, create a folder. This is my folder. Here I will store all my Java project. This is VS Code _ Java. Because VS Code, Visual Studio Code, it will be useful to many languages, Java, Python, C++. Okay. So this is the folder. Within this folder, click on that, and here you put a name for your project. Today I am going to explain socket programming. Okay. Both for client, server, client, both. You simply write this as client, both. What do you mean of client? Means
general call general call is general call general.
Okay. Now here, this file, under this source file, click on this source file. Okay. So a file will be opened. This is your Java file. Now here we are going to write the coding. So once you open a file of Java, these two statements, they are the default statements. Here we are going to write the socket programming. Today's class, socket programming for client, both read and write. Okay. This is the topic today. Socket programming, it will come part of it will be the part of Java networking. Okay. Within this, now I am going to write the code for client side to both the operations, read and write operations. Okay. Socket programming for client for both read and write operations. For both read and write operations. Okay. So now here, socket programming, I told you that in the previous sessions, many classes I have conducted. If you miss the classes, you can refer from the YouTube and all the classes. Now, if you are not able to understand the classes, simply you go there and you can get there. Okay, here, now what I'm doing here, client, I am explaining that client will send the message to the server. Client will send the message to server. Okay. Client will send the message to server. So server reads that. Message. Reads the message. And vice versa. Vice versa. What do you mean by vice versa? Vice versa means client will send the message to server and server reads the message. And the server can send the message to the client. Client will read that message. This is called vice versa. Now I'm going to write the program. Okay. First of all, your class name must be equal to your file name. So this is the default file name. You change this default file name because every time we will create lot of projects every time. So class name as per your objective. What is your aim? What the code is being write for which purpose? As per that purpose, you need to choose a file name. So here client is functioning for both read and write operations. So I will write this file as client both. Client both means client will be used for both read and write operations. So once you enter this, your file name, this is your file name client both.java means this is a source file, Java source file. And as per this file name, your class name must be changed. Your class name is equal to your file name. Your class name is equal to your file name. So you write the file name, class name a client both. Okay. Now what happened? Your client both means this is the class name. So you comment here. This is the main class, and main class name has been changed as your file name. This is file name, source file. Client both.java is your file name, means Java source file. Source file means whatever the code we are writing here, from here to whatever the code I am writing, this total will be called as a source code. Okay. So the main class name has been changed as your file name. After that, this is the main method. Okay. And never be main method, never be changed. Main method can't be changed. Okay. You simply mention here main method. Okay. Okay. Now main method never be changed. This is the default statement. Whenever you load any file, you create any file, and then when the file is being loaded, that moment this one is the class statement, one is the main method. One is the class and one is the main method. So these are two default statements. So this is after that you need to whether you want to keep it, otherwise you want to remove this default statement. Okay, no issue. Now normally under a class, a method always must be under a class. In Java, always method that must be part of a class. So what, after that, whatever the statements are written under the main method, they will be executed. Suppose here this is a statement system dot, okay, system dot out dot println. This is the statement, print statement. If you keep any string here, so that will be printed. Okay, if you compile this code, run this code, okay, you will get the output as Vasu. Okay, that is a string. But let us see first. Let us see whether it will be executed. It is taking time or somewhat time. This is called your VS Code, Visual Studio Code. IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment, that will be used to write the code, edit the code, and run the code. This is the output I have gotten, Vasu. So this is the default, whether you want to keep, otherwise we need to reach this goal. We need to write the code for both the socket programming. Okay, for the client must be able to write means client must be able to send the message to the server, and the client must be able to read the message which is being received from the server. Okay, now let us see. First of all, within this class, under this client class, okay, this is the main method. Now under this main method, I'm going to write the statements here. As I told you that in the previous classes, for socket programming, connection oriented programming, socket programming connection oriented, two classes will be used. One is that server socket class, player comma socket class. These two socket classes will be used for connection oriented connection oriented programming. Okay. Connection oriented service. Okay. So these two classes will be used. Okay. So these two classes, we need to import some packages. We need to import some packages. The package, first of all, you write the code like import, okay, comma, import Java dot. So normally this Java IDE, integrated development environment, it will help us. So I need not these, okay. I need once Java dot. Once you put dot, you will get all these packages, okay. This applet, AWT, abstract Windows toolkit, okay, IO package. This package we need one more. So every statement must be terminated. Next, one more package, either import, again Java dot. So one more package we need here, that is net package. This is net package, okay. Now semicolon. So two packages I have down imported. From within these packages, package is nothing but they are the folders or directors in Java. Okay, both folder directory both are same. So these packages, they are the folders, and so they will have many classes. Like a folder will have a lot of pages. In the same manner, these IO package and net packages, they will have a lot of classes. So if you don't know the name of any class, if you know the particular class name, you can refer that name. Otherwise, simply put the star. Star means what? All the classes will be imported. All the classes will be imported. Now, this is over. After that, you need to do what? You need to write the coding for. Under this main method, write the code like this. First of all, create the object for the socket class. This is the socket class. Okay. SOCKET. Socket class. Normally, your IDE will help you how to write the code. Already it is helping me. So this is the syntax. Okay, how to write the object, how to create the object. Then after termination. So here, what happened? This is the socket class. For this socket class, this is the object and new keyword. Again, class name. This is the syntax. So I am commenting here. So syntax to create the object. In Java, what happened? For the class, this is the class, socket class. This socket class is part of your net package. Okay, as I told you that net packages are the folders are directories. They will have a lot of classes. If you keep the mouse just over the package, it will give a lot of information to you. Simply you understand that net is a package, IO is a package. They will have a lot of classes. One class I am using here, socket class. For that socket class, as per syntax to create the object, first class name, next object name is equal to new keyword, then class name again, okay, and then brackets, termination with the semicolon. Okay, now try to understand. So this is the syntax. So you need to keep it in comment section. This is not the code. It is for your understanding how to create the object. So as per this object, I have created the same thing, class name first. So this is the class name. Then after object name. As per object name means any, you write anything here. For the socket class, XYZ. Say, take my name Vasu, your name. Okay, anything XYZ. For simply suitable name. For socket class, so this is for socket class. So you keep object socket, otherwise object socket is better. Okay, object socket means this object socket created for the socket class, and new keyword compulsory, next class name again. Okay, this is the syntax I have written here. For I have created the object here. Okay, once object is created, so here within this bracket, we need to pass two arguments. One is that IP address of server, otherwise host name of the server. Because no, this client, it will need to communicate with the server. Okay, client always will communicate with the server. So I'm writing the code for the client. Both means client will perform both the reading and sending and reading operations. So here I need to write the server name, otherwise IP address. Suppose IP address 127.0.0.1. This is the IP address. Okay, but here I want to use here server name as localhost. Localhost, why? Because server is running on the same machine. Okay, now I am writing the code in my computer. So within this server is running. So that server name is localhost. After that, put a port name. Any port name. 65,535 ports are there. 1 to 65,534. Any port you can use. So those ports which are dedicated for suppose HTTP 80 is there, SMTP simple mail transfer protocol 25 is there. Like that, so many protocols are engaged. Okay, so you need to use those ports which are not being used. Those ports are not being used. Okay. Okay. Now, once object created and within this bracket, this is called your constructor. This is called your constructor. Okay. This is called your constructor. So within this constructor, this is called your constructor. Constructor is a special method. So that method will be used to construct the object whenever object created in Java for a class. So once object is called, along with this constructor will be called. Constructor will be used to construct the attributes of the class. Okay, class and objects, whatever. So now here, once it is created, after that, I want to use two operations. Na? I want to use for two operations, both read and write operations. Na? So first of all, we will write for the reading operation. Okay, how it reads. So for that, I need to use I need to create object for data input stream. One more. So within 10 minutes, class will be terminated and you can get into the class again. Click on the same link. The class will be conducted up to 9:20. Okay, because this is free app of Zoom. So after 40 minutes of the class, so automatically class will be disconnected, and you can come into the class again by clicking on the same link. Okay, no issue. So here I am going to create one more object for the data input stream. Okay, this is the syntax. You can simply click on that. Now, same, this class will be, this is the data input stream. This is the part of your, this package, IO package. IO means input output package. Okay. This input output package has a lot of classes. As we have imported user .NET package class here, that is socket class. Okay. Same data input stream class that will be part of your word input output package. Okay. So this is the syntax. This is the object. You can change the object, whatever, your name, my name, XYZ. Suppose simply you want to keep it, but Y input, in means input. Okay. So either you keep in, otherwise input, otherwise data d in, data input, whatever. So now this is the object created for the your input stream class, data input stream class. Same new keyword as per our syntax. I have written syntax to create the object. This is the syntax. Class name first. Okay, and then object name. Any object name you keep here, XYZ. is you next you new keyword again data input class name again. Okay, but brackets. This is the constructor. You comment here constructor for this class. Every class has a default one constructor will be created along with your class when our object is created. Okay, now within this constructor we need to keep. I will explain what is that. This is for your input operation. You comment here. Input means what? Input means read operation. Okay. Next, for sending operation, we need to import one more class of that is output stream of this is the syntax. It is supporting us. Okay. As per this, keep the brackets here. If you use the IDE Visual Studio Code, it will give a lot of support to you how to write the code. Okay. So now here data output stream is equal to, this is the class name. This is a part of your IO package, input output package. Who is writing like this? Who is this zigzag writing on the screen? Huh? Who is writing this zigzag writing on the screen? Lokesh?
Sir.
Who is writing this zigzag writing?
Zigzag writing means I will touch. I will touch it means it will came, sir. We are
Acha,
scrolling the screens means it is came. It will scrolling zigzag. It will scroll on. It will come on zigzag. That's why. Just we are touching means.
but today I am seeing very differently. Because Apna,
Really, sir.
if you do like this, no, this code will be this is being recorded and this will be kept in YouTube and further reference for the students who are unable to attend the classes because of their busy schedules. So if you write like
Okay.
this, are you able to see this zigzag writing and the code will not be able to understand? So the students who are not able to attend the classes.
We are
Okay.
touch. I am touched means the zigzag will came, sir. That's why.
Why do you need to touch the screen? Because just you need to understand, look into that code, whatever I am writing and try to understand. If you are not able to understand, you ask me that, sir, actually what the code you have written here. I am clearly mentioning these are the packages imported here and that star
Mm,
classes, all the classes will
mm,
be can be imported, but only one class I need socket class that of .NET package and create the object. This is the syntax. I told you that we need to write the syntax like this. As per the syntax, I have written these two classes of the input output data input stream output stream. These are the classes of your IO package. Okay.
mm.
I think you need to check in your mobile. Okay. You need to check in your mobile the mobile some settings you have done. That is what these are curly writing. This is what some lines I am seeing here.
Yeah.
Okay, now try to come here within this much of code I have written. After that, one more, that is what I want to take that buffer reader. That is what buffer reader. This is buffer reader. Okay. The buffer reader, for the buffer reader, you create the object, whatever, simply br is equal new buffer reader. Okay. You accept this. Within this buffer reader, you that is called putting within one class object. Okay, so within the buffer reader constructor, we are keeping another class constructor. So that is called wrapping. Here, what I am doing, what wrapping. Wrapping means what? This is one more class buffered reader. For that is the object. So this is the that is what buffer reader constructor. Within the constructor, I have kept input stream reader. That is one more class constructor. Within this constructor, I told you that it has the brackets. So now here within the constructor, I want to put here constructor. That is the constructor of what? Constructor. Constructor means what? This is the constructor means it's a method. Method must have the brackets. So this is the constructor for input stream reader. So within this bracket, I need to keep system.in. System.in. Okay. So I will explain what is the role of this system. Here, two constructors have been used. One is that buffer reader object. So buffer reader within the buffer reader constructor means this bracket starts, bracket ends. So here we need to keep one more bracket here. That's why it's giving error. Why? Because this is the buffer reader constructor. Within this buffer reader constructor, we have kept one more class input stream reader constructor within the system.in parameter. So what is the use of this system.parameter? It will read the input from the standard input device. What is our standard input device? That is our keyboard. So whenever client sends a message to the server, so user types some text to send to the server. So the text will be read by this system.in parameter, okay, of system class. Okay. Now this data will be read by our buffer reader, this object. Okay. So now that buffer reader, this buffer reader has a method. That method name is equal br.readLine method. Read, if you keep simply dot, you will get all these methods, readLine method. So this is the read line. You simply write here